action. Hi, my name is Lindsay Saylor, and I'm doing my presentation over Garry Marshall. Garry Marshall was born November 13th, 1934 in New York City. When he was born, his name was Garry Kent Masciarelli. His family served in the film industry also, specifically his father and his sister. Before becoming a film director, he majored in journalism at Northwestern University. He also served in the Army, served as a reporter for the New York Daily News, and played as a drummer in a jazz band. Not only did he direct films, he produced, acted in, and wrote many television series. One of his first films, Princess Diaries in 2001. It was a family romantic comedy starring Julie Andrews, Anne Hathaway, and Hector Elizondo. It made Hathaway a household name, and it taught many young audience members independence, how to never lose sight of themselves, and also simple etiquette. Teenage girls reacted very well to this film. Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 47, and the audience score was 68%. Another one of his films was Overboard in 1987. It was a romantic comedy starring Goldie Hawn, Kurt Russell, and Edward Herrmann. It was one of his first films that he directed. It featured a real-life couple that had actual chemistry in the film. Some audiences loved the plot of the two lovers, while others disliked it because of how the male character took advantage of the female having amnesia and found it abusive. Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 45, and the audience score was 73%. Another one of his films was Pretty Woman in 1990, a romantic comedy starring Richard Gere, Julia Roberts, and Jason Alexander. It was ranked #1 in Garry Marshall's films. Viewers fell in love with the Cinderella story ending. However, some did not like how the rich character bought the woman, who was a prostitute, as he pleased. Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 62%, and the audience score was 68. Another one of his films was Runaway Bride in 1999. It was a romantic comedy starring Julia Roberts, Richard Gere, and Joanne Cusack. Due to Pretty Woman's success, Robert and Gere reappeared as a couple in this film. It was ranked in the top 5 of Garry Marshall's directed films. Many critics found it to be a bore, though, and gave it just an okay rating. It had a very predictable plot. Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 46, and the audience score was 53. And lastly, Georgia Rule was released in 2007. It was another romantic comedy starring Jane Fonda, Lindsay Lohan, and Felicity Huffman. It was one of Garry Marshall's last films before he passed away. It also served as Lindsay Lohan's redemption film. She got involved in partying and other activities and lost her reputation. However, this film brought it back. Film critics strongly disliked some of the ideas and how they were conveyed in the film, such as alcoholism and abuse. It also had a bad use of comedy, and audiences were very displeased. Rotten Tomatoes gave it an 18% score, very low, and the audience score was 52%. Some of the common themes and topics used by Garry Marshall were two people falling in love, fairy tale ending, abuse, inequality between men and women, and also between the lower and higher classes, and struggles faced by women. Garry Marshall was a great film director that created some of the most famous movies in the film industry. He liked to use the romantic comedy genre in his films, and he will leave a forever lasting impression in the film industry. Thank you.